What's up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. It is Friday. Happy Friday. We have the one and only the GOAT, Dead Press Picks. I know it's a blizzard up there in the Northeast. I hope you're doing well, Dead.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Yeah, a lot of snow today, so just stay inside and bet on some games, right?
Nice. That's like the perfect weekend to me.
Appreciate
Yeah, thank you everybody for jumping back on. We do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There weren't many games last night, so we'll quickly just recap that really quick. But I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor at Seven Stack Sports right there on the screen. Give them a follow at Seven Stack Sports. If you're looking for a Twitter book, they are the best one around. They do minus 105 reduced juice lines. So definitely look into that. They have 24/7 customer service, same day payouts if you're using cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that. And then they're gonna be doing a lot of promotions. So last weekend there was a huge odds boost when it came to the football games. I'm sure he's gonna be running another big one this weekend. So definitely look out for that. And if you sign up with Seven Stack Sports this weekend, DM myself, DM Dead, and let us know you signed up with them, and we'll give you our free VIP picks. Again, make sure you sign up with them and let them know that myself or Dead sent you, and he'll give you some awesome promotions. Anything you want to add there, Dead?
Now you hit most of them on the head, AC. Yeah, shout out to Seven Stacks again. Just the best book on Twitter. We've had a lot of people signing up the past couple weeks. Heard nothing but good things. So really proud of that. Happy to get people involved with Seven Stacks, and it seems like everyone's loving it so far, as they should. But quick recap last night, AC. If you want to go over that, last night's recap. There you go. Just a couple games, right? The Lakers and Sixers were in action. My Sixers took care of business there, as they should have, with no LeBron James. It felt like Embiid had like a bad game because he scored 26. I mean, he's been on such a tear. This is one of his worst games of the year. Obviously, 26 points is still great in a game. Anthony Davis actually had a really good game as well for
Yeah.
the Lakers, 31. Russ probably had one of his more efficient nights from the field, right? Like 9 for 15 for Russ. That's not that bad. And he was actually 2 for 3 from distance, but they just didn't have enough to compete in this one without LeBron. Did you have any action in this game?
No, I did not. I would have done the Lakers, so thankfully, I didn't. Right, the LeBron news was kind of late in the
Right.
day, which is kind of normal now with the NBA. The Lakers, man, we're 49 games in, and they're under 500. They have been struggling. Maybe they get a little better with LeBron and Anthony Davis getting back, into rhythm the next couple weeks. But
Mm-hmm.
nice win for the Sixers. That late game, though, I did have action. It was the Warriors Timberwolves. I was on Carl Anthony Towns points over, and he went off. So that was nice. Any action for you in that game?
I had a big same game parlay, long shot, 1AC, plus 600. Everything hit except D'Angelo Russell, 14 plus points. And he got hurt. So he had 8 at half, and then he gets hurt in the second half, like with 10 minutes in the third. So I think it would have hit. It was Edwards over. I had a bunch of Looney over, but Wiggins. It was a Wiggins revenge game.
Yeah.
That was easy. He just made his first All Star game as a starter, which is pretty absurd. But we don't do the voting, right? And so we knew that he was going to have a good game. But overall, good win for the Warriors, right? But I think the T Wolves are an interesting team this season. I think a lot of people underestimate them. Like they're a team in the playoffs I wouldn't want to see.
They have a better record than the Lakers. They're 24-24. They are 500, so they're better than the Lakers. One other notable thing about this game is kind of like the first game where we saw the Splash Brothers come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry with 6 threes, Klay Thompson with 5 threes. Both guys scored over 20. Obviously, I think they've had 32 or 36 games now where both players have made more than 5 threes. That is by far the most in NBA history. So props to Klay. Hopefully he gets back, get back into rhythm. But this team here, the Timberwolves, yeah, I agree with you. They're super interesting. I like how they play defense on Curry, to be honest. It was like Vanderbilt and McDaniels, some McLaughlin out there, Noel. Like these guys are really long, lengthy, and athletic. And I think it gave Golden State a lot of problems when it comes to their athleticism. So Minnesota could be a tough out if they make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. If there's a team I wouldn't want to see in the postseason, I know like right now they'd be playing the Suns, so that would be a tall task. But I think they have a lot of firepower. Let's get into tonight's slate. AC, decent size, right, for Friday night. We'll
Yep.
enjoy this one. The Pistons and the Magic here to tip things off. This has to be the largest Magic line of the season as a favorite. They're -3.5 at home facing the Pistons. What do you think? Because I think we were talking about when they played the Clippers. You thought, hey, it might be a good spot for the Magic. It looked good, and then they collapsed in that game. So maybe they're like a first half type of look. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
No thoughts here. You're right, man. I got burned by the Magic last game. They were favored by -1, -1.5 by tip off. And I was feeling really good about that game. And they were up on the Clippers. Basically, for the majority of the first half, Clippers came back and somehow covered that first half on the money line. And then they just kind of took care of business in the second half.
Mhm.
It's another Magic spot for me. But I'm not, I'm not in a situation where I can just throw value plays out right now. So it's a Magic play, but it's not going to be an official VIP play. What about you?
I like the Magic tonight, man. I don't know if I'll make it a VIP play yet.
Yeah.
But I think based on the line, like when the Magic are -3, I think you got to take them. The line
Yeah.
just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm going to trust the Magic here in this spot. I think they do get it done at -3. All right, this might be the best game of the night: Hawks and Celtics. But looking at this line this morning, AC, and I thought to
hmm
myself, this line says Celtics. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely saying Celtics. The Hawks are on fire, guys. Ever since that MLK game against the Bucks, they haven't lost. So they've won 5 straight games, covering all 5 games. So they're not only on fire from a straight up perspective, but against the spread, they're on fire as well. So um, it's weird that they're only let's see, the latest is a 2 point short favorite at home. That's kind of a sucker bet, in my opinion, to pick the Hawks here. It looks like a Celtics read, but again, it's I don't know if I'm gonna be man enough to do it. I will say this: the Hawks are a lot healthier, right? They're getting all their guys back: Capella, Hunter, Okongwu, Bogdanovich, Trey Young. All-star starter. Props to him. So the Hawks are definitely the better team in terms of health and the better team in terms of recent form. So it's a hard play, but I agree with you. It's a Celtics read.
It's a weird line, right? Like the Celtics have not been as good, right? The Hawks have been on fire. Now they're at home and they're only a 1.5 point favorite. So to me, it is a Celtics play
For sure.
in tonight's game. Lakers Hornets. This is the ESPN game. This is what kind of sucks with the NBA. Like I think as a fan too, like say you're a Sixers fan, right? Last night you bought tickets, big LeBron fan, and then they just like sit late. That's the only thing that I kind of hate with the NBA. Like now, the line's 6.5. It's an ESPN game. Probably a Disney will sit out, right? LeBron will sit out. They're
hmm
just gonna like. I feel like they just don't now. Russ is questionable. I
hmm
don't know. I wish that they could like flex these games. I know they can't, but I'd much rather see the Celtics Hawks play in this one tonight. But the line currently -6.5 for the Hornets. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be more people out for Lakers. I think Malik Monk, who's been playing really well for them, he's out.
That would have
Avery
been a month
Bradley
ago.
is questionable, most likely out. I bet all of their guys are gonna be out tonight. So Russ, AD, Braun, Monk,
They're gonna
Bradley,
sit them all.
and they're gonna cover. I have a feeling that they're
Reasonable.
gonna cover because I think everyone's gonna just start slamming the Hornets. Easy play. Everyone's out for the Lakers. I think it's gonna be a really weird ending where the Lakers kind of backdoor this. So I'm gonna lay off of it. I probably lean maybe like a Hornets team total over, right? Because they're gonna play really fast.
They're
Lakers are
scoring like
not gonna have,
150
yeah,
plus.
Lakers are gonna be playing all their backups, so their defense is gonna suffer. So maybe a Hornets team total here, but no spot for me.
That'd be interesting if they all sat. I just I don't trust anything involving Lakers games. That they do too much stuff, before the game to lock in a bet early. If no one goes, I can't imagine the Lakers cover. Maybe they
Yeah.
do it for the reasons you said. Like it looks too easy, but I don't know that team. I don't think they have enough depth to cover if it's a bench game. All right, Nuggets Pelicans here. A little bit of a fishy line, maybe. I see the Pels +4 in this spot. Nuggets the last game when they played the Nets, they were down 11 at half. Right, I hopped on them second half. They were able to blow them out. Do you think that this is a good Pelican spot here based off this line?
Yeah, you mentioned this a lot, Dad, but the books have really respected the
They
Pelicans all
respect them.
season long. Yeah, and I think it's another Pelican spot. At that line though, 4.5 to 4, you're expecting the Pelicans to kind of win straight up. If Brandon Ingram goes tonight, I think I do like the Pelicans' chances to win outright as a home dog tonight. What about you?
I think it is a Pels play here. Yeah, assuming Ingram goes, like that's obviously a big hit for them in this game. If he doesn't, Sixers just played the Pelicans a couple of nights ago, and it was like the Pelicans had no one in the lineup. That again, they're another team that when you get down to it, like they don't have a lot of options on the bench. So like if a star's out for that team, it's a big hit. Like Ingram,
Yeah.
obviously, as much offense as he contributes. So based on this line, I think Ingram will play. Um, and then also for the Nuggets, you got to watch. It seems like they've had a lot of last minute guys as well. Like Will Barton has kind of been a late decision for them. He's a big player for them as well. So I'll keep an eye on it. But assuming everyone goes, I do think it's a Pelicans play here. All right, Clippers and Heat. Clippers back to 500 at the moment. Heat top of the East, 31-17, -7.5 at home tonight. Who do you like in this?
Man, Clippers playing a lot better. They've won 3 of 4, right? We talked about them kind of beating Orlando easily in that second half. Crazy comeback against the Wizards a couple nights ago when they were down 35 and won by 1. So they're playing a lot better. I think their role players are really stepping up. Luke Kennard, um, Amir Coffee. You mentioned them a couple times.
Yeah.
So I do like this Clippers team. They're kind of feisty. They're kind of like the Thunder when the season first started, like a bunch of scrubs that nobody really knows, but they really just keep games close. As far as the Heat is concerned, we talk about this a lot, but I think they are the best team in the East. They're more built for the playoffs. So I don't know if these are the type of games that they really get up for. I know Lowry is continuing to stay out. Markieff Morris is out. KZ Okpala is out. Jimmy Butler right now, according to the latest reports, is questionable. I wouldn't be surprised if he sits out here on Friday night. So um, no lean for me here. If I a gun to my head, if I had to have action on this game, it would probably be the under. I think both teams just play pretty good defense and then not very good shooting other than Duncan Robinson. So I like the under in this game.
All right, yeah, I have no read on this one, so I would defer to you in this spot. All right, Blazers and Rockets. When I was looking at this line this morning, I was a little confused, but a lot of Rockets looks like they will not be in the lineup tonight. So it looks like Christian Wood and Kevin Porter are questionable. So I'm kind of guessing that the Bucks have them not playing because I think if they did play, Rockets at home might even be a favorite here. This might be good for us, though, AC, with our season-long bet because they should beat the Blazers at home based off what the Blazers – currently have, right? Nasir Little also yesterday, I believe it was announced his season's over. They
Yeah.
just cannot get healthy this year. It's been a really tough season for them. But crazy thing with the Blazers is if the season ended today, they would be in a play-in game. They wouldn't be
Wow. I
obviously.
didn't know that.
They would be playing the Clippers right now for a playing game. So it's kind of like bizarre because I mean nobody thinks of them as a playoff team, but like currently they would be in a position that they could get in. What's your thoughts on this one tonight? As the Blazers are a 3.5 point favorite, is this just a stay away game for you?
It's definitely stay away. Two really bad teams. Houston is a terrible home team. They're 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games at home, 5-13 against the spread in their last 18 overall. So even with that, like a month ago where they won a few games in a row, they've kind of fallen back down to earth. And their last 10, let me see, their last 10, they're 4-6, but against the spread, they're 5-5. So not too bad. But at home, again, they really struggle there. So for me, it's not really a look or an angle that I like. Blazers as a steaming road favorite, a public road favorite, which is pretty big tell in the NBA. But I'm gonna lay off because both teams are just so bad.
Yeah, this is another one I'm just going to stay away from. If Wood and Porter go, I will say I think I would like the Rockets. So just keep an eye on that. Again, guys, we're doing the show at 1 o'clock on the East Coast, so it's very early in terms of NBA injury news. All right, AC, we got 5 to go, but shout out to the best sportsbook on Twitter again, 7 Stack
Yes,
Sports.
sir.
Give them a follow at 7 Stack Sports right there on the screen. Big show later for us, AC. We're doing our football breakdown. I can't wait for that one. We will also have our boy Joe's picks, who was hopping on his show today. Outstanding capper, good friend for years now in the industry. So excited to have Joe get on the show, talk some football with us, and we will be doing another huge odds boost from 7 Stack Sports. All right, we got 4 or 5 games left here. AC, the Jazz and the Grizz. Grizz are -4. It was just reported Mitchell is out for this game. I believe Gobert. I know he's been out, so I feel like based on this line, he'll be out. But do you think this line's a little bit of bait here for the Grizz at -4 at home, or do you think it's a Grizzlies play?
I think it's a little bit of a bait, like you said, but I think the better team is still the Grizzlies. The line is a little short just because Bane is back, but you still have Kyle Anderson out, Tyus Jones out. Um, Dylan Brooks is still out for the Grizzlies, so there is a lot of talent missing on the Grizzlies side, especially in their backcourt. But man, without Donovan Mitchell, Utah Jazz, I feel like they're just a really bad team. They've lost the last 3 games. I think 2 of them were Golden State reads, and they just couldn't get it done. They got beat by Phoenix twice, and then they lost to Golden State in a close one. So I do like Memphis to bounce back themselves, right? They just beat the Spurs, but before that they lost to the Mavericks. So I think they are gonna get on another run here as they get more healthy. So I actually like the chalk in this game, Dad. Like I think the Grizzlies are gonna just take care of business and blow out the Jazz.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Again, the Jazz dealing with a lot of injuries. The one play I will say to watch out for also Jordan Clarkson. So we had his over a couple nights ago when they played the Suns. He kind of has to take on the scoring with Mitchell out
For
of that
sure.
lineup. So his overs, it was 17.5 last game. If you can get around that number, I think it's a good play because he's also a guy who is not afraid to shoot. He's going to get up his shots no matter if he's hitting or missing. So he's always going to be in a spot to get over. All right, Pacers and Thunder here tonight. The Thunder are it's back to a pick 'em. I was going to say they're a favorite finally. But I mean, this line is odd, right? It's how many games in a row? OKC, I believe, a 6-game skid right against them. So they've been cold. Obviously, they have struggled. Their last win came on the 13th of January. Is that when they beat the Nets? Yeah, they kind of put it on the Nets. But
Yeah.
AC, in the new year, the Thunder have won just once. So you're going to try. They have 2 games left in January, so they might have to win more than 1 game. Do you think that this could be a game that they win tonight at home?
I do. I mean, I still think they're the better team with all the injuries that the Pacers are dealing with.
Yeah.
Even though, like you said, OKC has lost 5, 6 in a row, the Pacers have lost 13 of their last 16 games. They're only 3-13 in the last 16. And even though the Thunder lose, they've been covering in their last 21 games. They're 14-5-2 against the spread, one of the best marks in the NBA. For the season, they're 29-16-2 against the spread. So a really good winning percentage against the spread, kind of similar to like the Lions in the NFL. Even though they're a bad team and they lose the games, they just somehow cover. This line tonight, basically a pick 'em here. I think it is bait for the home team because if you look at all those injuries for the Pacers, why is it still just a pick 'em? But I'm just gonna take that bait, man. I'm just gonna ride with Shea and Giddy and Luke Dort and those boys to kind of take care of business at home. So give me the Thunder tonight.
It was a good idea to ride with Giddy. He's a good guy, right? He's one of my favorite players in the league. I'm with you. I think based off this line, you want to watch for the Pacers who goes. They're another team I never know who's playing until like 10 seconds before the game.
Yeah.
I feel like Brogdon and Levert and Sabonis, like every single game, are like last minute decisions. So keep an eye on that game. As we were talking, you see the line actually flipped to the Pacers -1, which is kind of funny. So, we'll see who goes, who doesn't go. But as of now, probably staying away from that one. All right, this one's an interesting one to me tonight at AC. The Bulls and the Spurs. And I say interesting because the Spurs are -1.5
Hmm.
against one of the best teams in the NBA. The Spurs are not one of the best teams in the NBA. They have, I don't want to say they've struggled. I think they're kind of what we expected to this point, 18-31. So, I mean, they're in it, right? Because the West is so odd that they're only 2.5 games out of a play-in spot. So, like, their season's far from over. It's still fairly early in the year. DeMar DeRozan, revenge game possibly here in this one. We know Lonzo's still out for the Bulls. But I believe they'll have DeRozan, Levine, and Vooch, right? Like,
Yeah, they have their big 3. So, yeah, I mean, what you're trying to get at is right. Like, it's a very fishy line. Why are the
yeah,
Spurs favored? It opened up as, the Bulls being favored by 2. It's flipped now to the Spurs minus 1.5. So, I do lean the Spurs here because of that fishy line. But my favorite play is actually gonna be the over.
yeah.
231.5 here. I think it's super high for a reason. Both teams are gonna shoot a lot of threes, and both teams are coming off games where they made less than 10 threes each. So I think regressionally, I think the Spurs and the Bulls are going to hit a lot of threes tonight, or not a lot, but more than usual. And I do think the over 231.5 is a good play.
I think you got to take the Spurs here, man. The
Yeah.
line is just so off. And you mentioned the flip of the line too. The Spurs have struggled. They've lost 3 in a row at home. I don't know. I mean, that's just. I don't think I can give you any stats that back up the Spurs. Bulls are a much better team, but based off this line, man, I'm gonna trust the Spurs in this game at home minus 1.5. Just solely based off the reason I think it's the trap of the night. And if the Bulls get it done, credit to them. I mean, they are the better team, and like I said, they have their big 3, right? Vooch, DeRozan, and Levine will be in. Maybe a revenge game for DeMar as well. So maybe we get some DeMar props here out. All right, the T Wolves and the Suns tonight. The T Wolves on a back-to-back in this game, but they're getting 9. Do you think that's too many points? Now, D'Angelo Russell also, we have to expect him to be out, right, because of what happened last night. Do you think 9's too many, or do you think the Suns kind of put it on them today?
Man, it's tough. I've been fading the Suns a couple times this year, even though it's been the right spot. The Suns just cover, man. Like, it doesn't matter if it's public. It doesn't matter if they're down by 10 heading into the fourth. They just find a way to get it done. If I could bet a game where it's just the first 3 quarters, this would be a Timberwolves play. Because you and I both know we love Devin Booker and Chris Paul, 2 of the best closers, if not the best closers in the NBA today. I think they're the best. So it's hard to kind of fade that fourth quarter spot. But with that said, man, there's a lot of people out for the Spurs. Aiton's still out. Kaminsky, JaVale, Cameron Payne, Jay Crowder, Nader, Dario Saric is obviously out for an extended period of time. But that's 7 guys, right, in their top 12 players. So I mean that's a lot. With that being said, they still find ways to cover. If I had to bet, the value here is Timberwolves. And without JaVale, without Ayton, I see Karl Anthony Towns eating again tonight, even though it's a second night of a back-to-back. So maybe that's a good look. Maybe Towns over points again.
Okay. Final game of the night, AC Knicks Bucks, ESPN game. Again, who's picking these ESPN games this year? Bucks are a 9-point favorite. Now, I want to say the Bucks are coming off a really embarrassing game against the Cavs, where they're really hard on themselves in the post game. So I don't think I want to fade the Bucks like an angry Bucks team who's fully loaded tonight. I think it might be a Bucks first quarter, first half type of thing. Maybe the Knicks could back. 9's a big number, right? Like they could backdoor it late. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely a Bucks first half spot for me. It's most likely going to be a VIP play later, but I do like the Bucks to come out. Giannis is one of those rare superstars that actually care about the regular season. So I think he is going to come out motivated. And these 2 teams have faced 3 times now in this season. One of them was a Bucks second half collapse where they were up like 20 and they lost to the Knicks, I think in November. The Knicks, on the other hand, they're coming off 2 losses. Their offense is struggling, only 93 against Cleveland, 96 against Miami. I think their offense continues to struggle tonight. So I think the Bucks run away, but the safer play is definitely Bucks. Probably -5 first half is what I'm seeing here. Let me double check here.
Yeah.
-5 Bucks first half. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I just think they come out hot. I mean, the Knicks suck, man. I don't think that I can back them for any good reason. But they see, you know what? We got through those games fairly quick, 25 minutes ish.
Beautiful.
Want to shout out Seven Stacks one more time, man. Thank you to them, the best Twitter book, and it's becoming well noted, right? I think a lot of people are getting onto them. So
for sure. So definitely give them a shout out, give them a follow, sign up with them, and let them know that we sent you. You're gonna get an awesome free play bonus or some promotion. And then definitely check us out in a few hours. We're gonna do the NFL preview for the championship games. I mean, AFC and NFC, we're seeing a trilogy, right, with the Niners and the Rams. And then on the AFC, we have Joe Burrow, who's everyone's favorite quarterback, going against Patrick Mahomes, who's going for his 3rd Super Bowl in a row. So a lot of cool storylines today. Definitely come back and check us out on that. Everybody, good luck on your bets.